Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Izola here with FlickDirect, and I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. I thought I'd start off 2025 with, some of my favorite movies from 2024, just in case if you missed some of them, and see what your thoughts are on it. So grab your popcorn, sit back, relax, and let's get this started. Okay, first off, let's start off with a disclaimer. These are not in any particular order. These are just when I was trying to remember what movies I had actually seen in 2024, what came to mind, and so I wrote them down and thought I would share them with you. Also, I did not watch every single movie that came out in 2024. There are some good ones that I did miss. I will be watching them, but again, there could be some changes, but for now, these are my 2024 picks. So the first one we're going to start off with is The Fall Guy. Now, brief synopsis, this is basically about a stuntman who has been blown up, crashed through windows, rolled in a vehicle. I mean, you name it, it's happened to him. And he is fresh off of an injury, kind of not really wanting to get back into the swing of things, but he is asked to help on a role and also help find the lead of a movie that he will be stunting in. I think what's really great about this movie is that you're getting a lot of different subplots within the plot. There's conspiracy theories happening. He almost ends his career with this life-threatening injury, and then, you kind of find out what actually happened, and it just all goes to hell. But you also got a little bit of romance in there too. So it kind of has this, it's just a great package all wrapped up into one. So everybody has a little bit to enjoy in this movie. Yes, you have action. Yes, you have comedy. And like I said, a little bit of romance. But the great thing about this is that you're really seeing what the stunt community goes through in the making of this. And it was also based originally on a show that came out, I think, in the 70s, which is great because at the end you kind of get a little Easter egg when they're wrapping up the movie. Now, if you want my full review on this, it is available. I will leave the link in the description. That was actually one of my more fun videos that I did, so be sure to go check that out. Next is Red One. When a villain kidnaps Santa Claus from the North Pole, the ELF, also known as Extremely Large and Formidable team, joins the world's greatest tracker to find Santa. And obviously they have to save him before Christmas because who's going to deliver the presents to all the children if Santa isn't there? Now, I know that this movie scored low on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't always trust those anyway because 99% of the time people are just trolling and, crap on things for no apparent reason. But I do highly recommend watching this if you did not. It is a great holiday movie. It's got laughs. It's got some serious undertones. And great moral of the story. I'm not going to really give too much away, but you're going to laugh and you're going to learn, right? And that's, it's a great thing about a holiday movie. So they definitely hit all of, checked all of the marks on this for sure. Only disturbing thing I would probably say are the snowmen. It really, it was a little weird for me. I'm sure you saw it in the trailers. And also, can we just talk about J.K. Simmons getting ripped for this? Did not expect to see a ripped Santa Claus, but it worked, especially with Dwayne Johnson. So that was pretty funny. But like I said, go check it out. I also did a review on this as well. I think you'll enjoy that as well. Link in the description. Next on the list, we have Twisters. This again was another one that I reviewed and I did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. But this one was basically about a girl named Kate who is haunted by her past. She gives up, researching for tornadoes, but something brings her back. One of her friends says that there is this new technology, tracking system, and she kind of gets lured back into it again. Now, soon after she's back on the road with this tracking technology, she runs into social media superstar / adrenaline junkie, Tyler Owens. And of course, he's just hot-headed and thinks he's the cat's meow. So there's going to be a lot of tension between the two of them for sure. But because of some things that happen, they have to work together and literally fight for their lives because of all of the tornadoes that just start coming up. Now, although the writing wasn't like the most amazing and the acting, it was all right. What really sells this movie is you've got a lot of action, you've got a lot of tense scenes, primarily because of the tornadoes. They did an amazing job with using real footage and also their CG work. So it really sucked you into this movie and you wanted to see what literally happened at the end and who survived, how the tracking systems worked. And the other cool thing too was this was a standalone movie, but it definitely paid homage to the original, and there were some Easter eggs in there, especially when you looked at the name of the tracking system. I thought that was pretty cool because I did like the original, although again missed the flying cow. But you know, you can't do the same thing, right? You got to kind of change it up. Next is the wild robot. This is where you have a robot who is shipwrecked on a deserted island, and her name is Roz. And she pretty much has to adapt to her new surroundings. You get to watch Roz build these new relationships with the different creatures on the island and also see this parental bond with an adorable gosling. It's just precious. This animated movie is heartwarming. It makes you laugh, it makes you cry, but you learn a lot within this movie, and it is a great movie to watch for the entire family, parents, friends, children. They will all enjoy this movie for sure. Young Woman and the Sea. Through the support of her older sister and her trainers, Truly Ederle overcomes adversity and the animosity of a patriarchal society to rise through the ranks of the Olympic swimming team. And what's even more amazing is that she actually completes a 21-mile swim from France to England. Truly amazing story. I couldn't leave this one out. The acting was truly amazing. It was beautifully directed, and just the scenes are just so beautiful, even when it's super cloudy, which it mostly is in the UK, but it was really beautifully filmed, and I really think that you will enjoy this for sure. The amazing thing is that you get to see, by acting, Trudy's resilience and how she had to overcome so many obstacles just to be able to do the things that she did. So it's very inspiring, and I definitely recommend you guys checking that out. Next is Alien Romulus. You guys didn't think I'd leave this one out, did you? And I know you guys have probably all seen this, but here's the little teensy synopsis. You've got the space colonizers that come face to face with what I think is the most terrifying species in space. Yeah, they just did such an amazing job on the costuming for those prosthetics. Everything, FX, makeup, it was just amazing. I was so excited when I heard this movie was coming out because it just kind of gave you that tie-in between two movies, but could also stand alone. When I had read what the plot was, and I was like, this is a really great idea, because you always wondered what happened in between the two and what happened to the space station. So this really gives us that tie-in that blends in between the two movies. But like I said, even if you hadn't, I don't know, maybe you're living under a rock, seen first or second ones, you can literally watch this one and it kind of just gives you an idea of where that alien race came from, basically. So if you have not seen this one, obviously go watch it, because it is truly a masterpiece. So good. Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. Now, this one's a little different because it's more of a documentary, but it's still technically a movie, and I'm an absolute fan of Christopher Reeve, so I thought I would share this one with you because I think everybody should see it, especially even if you're just a Superman fan, because they do discuss a lot of that particular part of his career. So it's definitely something you would enjoy. So it basically starts off with discussing how he landed the role of a lifetime, becoming Superman, and then how his life progresses, and then what happens after his unfortunate accident. So it's really an amazing, I guess you would call it more of a biopic. It's it's sad, but also you see a lot of strength and how things have actually improved in regards to stem cell research and things of that nature. It's really an amazing story. This biopic is really going to give you a lot of things that you may not have known about Christopher Reeves, his family, or even the research and the nonprofit that came to be after his injury. Next is Wicked. Misunderstood because of her green skin, Elphaba forges this unlikely relationship with Galinda, who just has this absurd need to be popular. So you really have two people from opposite sides of the spectrum, and you're seeing how they come together and how really differences aren't always what they seem. Now, after they meet the Wizard of Oz, their relationship comes to a sort of crossroads, I guess you would say, and you kind of see how they go on different paths for their lives. I think I've mentioned in the past that I'm a huge theater nerd, did musical theater growing up as a kid. So Wicked is actually one of my favorite musicals. Also, the book is really good, but very different, a lot darker than the musical. They kind of tone down the scariness a little bit. So it's definitely family friendly. But it's a beautiful story. The music is amazing. I was a little nervous to see it at first, but the music, they did an amazing job. Not much was changed, and it wasn't like other musicals to movies where they just hired a big actor who could sing but didn't really give what the role needed. Russell Crowe. You didn't hear me say that. But they did a really good job with the actors portraying those roles and singing the songs. So that definitely made this a selling point for putting this on the list. I definitely recommend checking it out. Even if you're not a huge musical theater fan, the music is great. I think you will really enjoy the storyline overall. And aside from that, the beautiful costumes and set designs, holy cow, it's just gorgeous. So definitely check it out. Let me know what you think. We're almost at the end, people. Next, we have Beetlejuice. And of course, you knew this one was going to be on the list. How could it not be? I was talking about it right up until it came out. So of course it's going to be on the list because they did an amazing job on it. Now, just a brief synopsis. We've got Lydia, who is just still haunted by her past and the things that had occurred during her teen years. Well, things go awry when she goes home for a funeral, and her daughter finds the portal. And of course, we all know how you find the portal. Say Beetlejuice's name 3 times. I've probably said it. I don't even know how many times at this point, but he hasn't come, so I guess, you know, he's busy elsewhere. But again, you have Beetlejuice, but there are other players in this game, and there's obviously huge mayhem throughout the movie, so I loved it. It was absolutely great. It was nice to see majority of the band back together, aside from, you know, a few that either couldn't do it or shouldn't have been in there. So I think that they did a great job with the casting. Also, I mean, who didn't want to see Michael Keaton back at this, you know? And of course, I love Wynonna Ryder as Lydia. She was just amazing. And she still gave that true Lydia feel. So it really all worked out. It was the right amount of time, I guess, in between the two. It just worked out really great. And so I was really happy with that. And I'm sure you will be too if you have not seen it. And finally, Deadpool and Wolverine. Do I need to give you a synopsis on this? Deadpool is now in this really peaceful existence, doesn't really know what to do with his life. He wants it to matter more than it really does. Things change. It's very mundane. No longer with his girl, you know, just lots of sadness and not what he expected in his life. But things change when the Time Variance Authority decides to, you know, recruit him to help safeguard the multiverse. Well, of course, he can't do anything that anyone says, which I guess is good in this scenario, but I digress. But, you know, he unites with Wolverine, and they try to complete the mission and save his world from potential extinction, I guess. What can I say that can't be said already about this movie? It was so good. I've watched it multiple times. I could probably put it on again and watch it. It's just that good. The humor, it's raunchy, it's funny, it's gory, especially the car scene. There's a lot going on, so maybe not so much for the kiddos, but I have talked to parents whose youngins have seen it and they absolutely enjoyed it as well. So I guess, you know, anybody can really watch it if they don't have a sensitive stomach. I really enjoyed a lot of the Easter eggs and the cameos. Like, they just did such a great job, especially because you're working with the multiverse. So you could really bring in characters that haven't existed in a really long time. I mean, come on. We had Gambit in there, and it was hilarious. And I really think he did a great job, but we got to tone down on the accent because some of it was a little difficult to understand. But do you think this is going to give us a Gambit movie maybe? Finally? Hopefully? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, those were 10 of the, I don't know how many movies I saw this year. And just wanted to kind of give you a wrap up of those because, again, they were probably some of the most fun movies that I've watched this year. I also watched some 2023 ones that I thought came out in 2024. So making this list was a little difficult, but you know, hey, it was still a lot of fun. And you know, some of these I'm definitely going to go back and watch. And I hope you watch them too. If you do, please leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of them. I'm sure, like I said, you've probably seen most of them, but there are probably a few that I snuck in there that you haven't seen. So definitely let me know if you watch them. And with that, this concludes my episode of some of my favorite 2024 movies. I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like and subscribe to all of our channels so you never miss out on any entertainment news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.